Hello, everybody. Anyone? Ontario Provincial Police, you are guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder. Spencer Mills, you are guilty of 6 years torture, your brain injuring, body mutilations, kidnapping, sex assaults. You are guilty for every crime against me through Blair Kane Hardy, through Bill Woldridge, a.k.a. Rob Cross, Stephen Mavis. You are guilty of all crimes against me for Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Bert Hustler, Robert Berry, Sean McKay, Dale Hartwick, Harry Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Raymond LeBlanc. Congratulations, you had my mother stalked, you had my mother tortured and killed, you had my 2 dogs killed, serious brain injury, kidnapping, sex assaults, false arrest refusals, extortion, putting illegal prisoner tracking into me, medical file falsifications through Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic, who is guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder for one Jason Van Alstyne, for one Tyler Lake, and for one Bert Hustler, Harry Hartwick, Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns. They are all guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder for the police. Once again, they are killers for Ontario Provincial Police Cops Spencer Mills 14716 and Robert Kane 7224. They are his drug traffickers. They are sex offenders. They are sex slave traffickers. They are guilty of financial thefts and frauds, brain injuring, identity thefts and frauds, framing, trafficking, tortures, false arrest through the framings, murders that have been covered up. They are also guilty of selling laced fentanyl through Jason Van Alstyne, who is committing overdose homicides that are being covered up through Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic, Lennox and Addington County General Hospital. She is the one that covers up all O.p.p. homicides in Napanee, Ontario. She is the reason their victims are getting medically blacklisted to prevent them help and prove to assure that Ontario Provincial Police, these cops and lowlives, are committing murders and they are having them covered up through lies of being suicidal, through lies of drugs. They are using those narratives. They are falsifying death records as well. They are tampering with birth registrations to fuck victims over. They are, when people disappear, families are murdered and missing, it is Ontario Provincial Police. I know this probably is not going to be seen because it's being blocked out by the cops, and my computer is also hacked by their accomplice homosexuals. Jason Van Alstyne is guilty of first-degree murder with intent to commit. He is guilty of brain injury me. He is guilty of sex assaults. He is guilty of torture crimes. He is guilty of a murder in 2021. He is an obsessed homosexual. He is a crackhead, and he is a fentanyl dealer for Robert Kane 7224. Once again, all crimes against me for the past 6 years, revenge, retaliation. Anything happens to me, Ontario Provincial Police, Spencer Mills, you are guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder. Robert Kane, you are guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder for these fucking lowlives for revenge retaliation. All it takes is giving a little O.p.p. drug supply, a little bit of crack, the lies, the time buying, the cover-ups, and you're lobotomizing victims. You are completely and totally fucking victims over. You are committing sex assaults. Yes, I do not want to say this, but O.p.p. are nothing but ass-ripping, sex-offending, low-life pieces of shit garbage who have no laws, who are above the law, and think that they have ownership over their victims along with the criminal fucking doctors who are involved. One way or another, I'm going to get arresting and I am going to get charging and lawsuits on O.p.p. This is finished. You completely and totally fucked my brain. You numb me down completely, totally, 24/7, keeping me from medical help to assure you get away with lobotomizing your victims, to totally fucking brain injure your victims in hopes that I go crazy, in hopes that you can justifiably fuck me even more. You're also guilty of having my uncle murdered as well. Staff Sergeant, Ontario Provincial Police, had my uncle tortured and murdered, had my mother tortured and murdered, had two of my dogs tortured and killed, having me seriously tortured, mutilated with 100% proof, lies about it being a self-harmer. I don't fucking think so, you pieces of shit garbage, and that's all you are. You are nothing but terrorist pieces of shit garbage, hiding behind your badges, your positions. You're lucky I have no rights. You're lucky that you have no laws above you, and that homicides and ending bloodlines is 100% legal in Napanee, Ontario through Ontario Provincial Police. That cop that just was recently charged for murder is a big fucking joke. He will get away with it, and he will get off. If he gets any time at all, it might be a day or two, and then he'll walk away with a big fucking raise. Lika is corrupt to the core. They are the ones that are guaranteeing O.p.p get away with their provable murders. So yes, Lika is very, very seriously corrupt. OYPRD that was at the time very seriously corrupt. Good luck trying to have your life saved in Napanee, Ontario against the police when they have their fucking doctors. If you are poor, homeless, elderly, disabled, your life means nothing. I hate to say that, but I can and 100% prove my words. Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Bert Hustler, Harry Hartwick, even a homosexual named Robert Berry, who is a truck driver for Laidlaw Trucking. He is a serial killer and possibly guilty of a murder homicide on Tyendinaga Reserve, of a body that was found with the fucking police. There is also a reserve cop named Travis Brandt and his brother Christopher are involved in the sex slavery trafficking, drugging victims, slander, stalking, using CEW on victims as well. Congratulations, you pieces of shit. It's all very seriously organized, and I'm not gonna take a fall for any fucking gimpy two-step Van Alstyne or any other O.p.p. Ontario Provincial Police homosexuals who are committing very serious crimes for these Pontius Pilate pieces of shit cops. And I hate to talk that way about cops, but this is fucking. You've completely and totally turned me into a vegetable. You're trying to turn me into a fucking dummy in hopes I forget about this, in hopes that you can get away with all of this. Yes, you bought just the right amount of time while blocking this out. You are proven to be nothing but fucking bloodline ending terrorists. And yes, you are guilty of having my uncle Keith Wood tortured and killed. You are guilty of having my mother tortured and killed. You are guilty of having my dogs tortured and killed. And you are guilty of 6 years torture, slavery, lobotomizing me with your Dr. Tatiana Vakadinovic. Public beware, because this is finished. I live just outside of Deserano, and if anything more happens to me, August 4th, 2025, it was actually 10:58 a.m., 11 a.m. Anything more happens to me, these cops are guilty of first-degree murder, and I guarantee I will do a live later on, and I will look 100% different. I am a full physical identity theft victim from these homosexuals. I was shot by ex-OPP chief or commander in 2019. I have tried everything to get arrest and charging one known as Stephen Mavis or Bill Woldridge, 149 Center Street North. You deserve the electric chair. You are a piece of shit. You deserve the electric chair, and you deserve to be in front of a firing squad catching a shitload of bullets. Capital punishment needs to be brought back to, to Canada. It needs to be brought back, and people need to start being put in the electric chair again and having them being totally fucking fried to death because they are getting away with murders. Capital punishment needs to be brought back to Canada.